Today we're very fortunate to have Don Chabelo, an elder from the Wixarika nation, come and share with us about the importance of the natural world and preservation of the culture and nature. We're going to begin by acknowledging the land that we're currently participating in this event, the university, and we all work in this year. So we want to acknowledge this land. We want to acknowledge the waters, the history of this land and the waters. We want to acknowledge the people who've been living here for thousands of years. We want to acknowledge the Tsleil-Waututh, the Squamish, Musqueam, and all the people who call these lands home. And we want to give thanks for allowing us to live here. You know, some of us were not necessarily invited, but we come here and try to do our best to be good inhabitants of this land. Take care of it the best way we can. So, I just want to take a moment to think about those people, that they can also get some blessing out of this event too. And so, just gonna, keep it short. We're gonna ask Tim, who we're very fortunate to have, to do a welcoming song from Don Chabelo with the help of Gary, and then we're gonna pass the microphone to Don Chabelo, and I'm gonna be translating on what he would like to share with us. Okay? Thank you guys.
Quite to find it. The child of Tim Michel Quest Samachin Elkstua Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, Elkstua Indigenous Relations Director. Hello everyone, I am Chiquels Twisieta, and my colonial name is Timothy Michel. I work here at Simon Fraser University at the Faculty of Arts as the Indigenous Relations Director. And, I'm really happy that I'm in this land, and one of the things that I really urge everyone is to think about not just the responsibility each of you has to the land itself, but the responsibility that you have to the Homish, Lukumi, and the Halkumelan peoples, because we're on this land. I don't know if any of us are invited, probably none of us. And that being the case, I guess at best, we're squatters. And so that's one of the things in your heart of hearts, when you start thinking about that, we have a responsibility to pay them something. Not just respect, not just words, not the symbolic things, but we need to actually really think, what kind of work can we pay them? What kind of money we can pay them? It's really important to think about that, because we're on this land, and to really acknowledge the indigenous peoples of this area, we need to really consider that. And what are we doing about it? Whether it is like what's happened in some places where people have bequeathed their estates to the territories. So when they've gone on into the other realm, they leave behind their land and their money to the local area, local peoples. That's one thing you could do. I'm not saying everybody has to do that, but we should think about what we're doing. And it should be something that's real, something that we need to feel like we're actually giving something, and something that they need. Not, it doesn't mean anything just to give them anything, but really think about what you're giving. I just wanted to go on with a little story. When Vancouver burned down years ago, probably about 20% of the people were saved by the Squamish. The Squamish saw Vancouver burning down, and they didn't say, oh, good riddance to those usurpers. No, they got in their canoes and they paddled over to Vancouver, and they saved people. They hauled them out of Vancouver. So they've given to us in many, many ways. So that's something to think about. It's not just their land that we're usurping, but we owe them probably the lives of 25% of our original Vancouver area inhabitants. So that's just another example of what we owe the Squamish and the Musqueam and the Quiquitlam and the people of this area. Now, I'm Secwepemc, also visitor, and I'm saying all of these things because these are things that I've had to think about and work on myself. Because I've lived here for many, many years. And I know that it's not just the work I'm doing that I give back, but I've also made a commitment to leave some of my estate to the people in this area in the form of awards for this the Coast Salish people. Anyways, we have a song where I'm from. We're upriver from the people here. And the Spotokomo, the Hunkaminam, and the Skokomish Skokumi, they have their own welcoming songs, but I'm going to share the welcoming song from my character.
Thank you so much, Tim and Gary, for that welcoming song. ¿Tiene micrófono? Sí, suele presentarse. He's going to speak first about nature. Good morning to everyone. My presence here is to tell you something about nature and how we have to take care of it. Nature needs for things to be presented in a certain way, because that's where everything is. When we plant a plant or a tree that we love so much, it's the same as when a child is born. And we're going to take care of it in that way, with that love and that affection. Where we preserve all the existence of the knowledge of nature. We always have to check our needs in nature. In our teachings, it's explained how those things are to be done, and we have it inside ourselves. That's where everything is. But over there, we're just one in the universe. There we need to respect nature, the trees that give fruits, because that's where everything is. It's very important to generate that knowledge and that understanding. Do what each one of us needs to do. Doesn't matter the state. It doesn't matter which part of the world. What matters is to have that knowledge of our trajectory. That's very important. When we hear the voice of nature, it envelops us. If we know how to understand it, then we cover ourselves. That represents supporting one another with generosity. Because it really belongs to us to do everything with those good intentions. There we create a lot of projects on how to teach, as you can know. In the universities, they're designed for that, to teach the youth, but so much they need. The practical teachings as should be done. And those young people, you got to teach them a good way, a good path. With those practices, guide them. With a good will, as a father, as a grandfather, as an uncle, an aunt. Generate all of that between ourselves. That makes us see the nature, the rivers and the top of the mountain. They keep us with that energy. With that we can do a lot of things, important things. From there it comes, we're all important, we're all teachers, we're all engineers, we're all architects, psychologists. There we have to respect our own teachings, of support one another. The nature sends those words to us. Comes the time, every day. At a certain time it sends us that message, that encouragement. Very important. And with that it covers us with good intentions. And through the coming future generations, we must understand that basically as it's supposed to be. And more. I thank all the teachers. And more I'm going to thank you. When you find those practical teachings of the masters, my respect for them. It's good that they're at the base of the struggle. But it's good that they generate good thoughts and good future generations to the youth. But with those intentions, having the work, with that kindness, with that attention, with that meaning of different cultures, of the different traditions. We always be discovering those traditions that were generated upon the Mother Earth. Our Mother Earth always keeps us in her bosom. Generates a lot of things for us. Teachings, being serious, respect of our things. There it said that we're all.
Porque con esas generaciones
with those future generations
que vienen,
that are coming,
tenemos nuestra práctica propia cada uno de nosotros.
we have our own practice, each
Mi
one of
respeto
us.
para ustedes,
My respect for you,
porque yo les entiendo,
because I understand you.
entiendo las básicamente
I understand the basis,
las causas
and with that,
importantes.
you generate the important causes.
Yo soy nacido en 1955,
I was born in 1955.
en los años 54,
In the year 1954,
luego empecé a generar esas causas.
when I was 9 years old, I started to learn
Con apoyo de mis abuelos,
with the support of my grandparents,
apoyo de mis padres,
with the support of my parents, of my uncles, and my aunties.
ahí se conservan las tradiciones,
That's where the traditions are kept
la cultura,
of our culture,
en todas las decisiones.
in all the decisions.
Ahí nos enseña cómo debemos generar
There they teach us
nuestras decisiones propias,
how we should make our own decisions.
que es tan importante
With this,
tanto como nosotros.
so important, just like we are.
Toda la humanidad,
All of humanity,
esas cosas importantes.
we generate those important
Pero a
causes.
veces algunos
But sometimes,
generan a un lado esas cosas, esto causan tristeza.
some people generate sadness when they go astray. We shouldn't do that.
Hay donde se deben de fijar
That's when you gotta
esas cosas,
pay attention in those situations.
tanto como los maestros.
That's as the teachers,
Vean,
as the students.
siempre ir dirigiendo el sistema de conocimiento
Always directing your subject of knowledge
y hacerlo con mucha amabilidad.
and do it with a lot of kindness, what you have understood.
Porque siempre la naturaleza nos causa esas generaciones, nos cubre.
Always nature generates those things and it covers us with that kindness.
Y a nosotros nos hace entender todo eso.
And they teach all of us to us.
Eso, esas iniciaciones de los proyectos de los saberes,
Those beginning of
es
the
un tejido.
projects of knowledge is like a weaving.
Cuando rezo,
Our words, our prayers, and our songs are like a weaving,
como el arte,
like the art over there.
en todo,
In everything,
de los indígenas,
our indigenous people,
tienen su programación.
they have the programming of knowledge,
También los saberes,
what our grandparents taught us,
padres,
our parents,
con las mismas intenciones.
with the same good intentions,
Llevarla a tener esa enseñanza.
with the same intention as
Así por eso,
Wixarika we have. But that's also why
luego
we
esa
share.
tarea nos dan,
Our grandparents give us that homework to share,
tener esa amabilidad,
have that kindness,
con buenas intenciones,
good intentions,
ir generando esas palabras tan importantes.
generate those very
Todos
important
lo
words.
necesitamos.
We all need that.
Uno al otro,
We need
necesitamos
each other.
hablar con la verdad.
We need to speak to one another with the truth.
Eso se nombra espiritual,
That's what it's called
espiritual,
spirituality.
que nos enseñan los padres y los abuelos.
What our grandparents and parents teach us
Cómo
traditionally.
debemos predicar nuestras propias decisiones,
How should we make our own
a
decisions?
quién le debemos generar, tanto como a los niños, tanto como
What should we generate on the youth or in the children?
yo en los países que han dado.
In all the countries that I've traveled,
Lo mismo.
I see the same
A
thing.
veces algunos tristes,
Sometimes some people are sad.
pensamientos, atraen pensamientos ajenos,
Sometimes they attract foreign thought. And from there, a lot of sadness comes.
en tu camino,
And
es
then-
el más triste.
They deviate from their path, and
Por
that's
eso
more
es
sad.
bueno
That's why,
compartir mis conocimientos, lo que me enseñaron mis padres, mis abuelos.
that's why I come here to share my knowledge from my grandparents in a good way that it's supposed to be.
Es la tarea que me dejaron.
That's the homework that my grandparents and my parents left
Esa
for me.
tarea también les vengo a dejar.
And that homework I come here to leave to you, to react a little bit, realize your own life as it's supposed to be,
Porque todos somos importantes.
because we're all very important.
A dar la idea a los jóvenes, a los niños,
Watch the children and the youth,
a las familias,
teach them a good way.
cuál es el deber,
What do we have to do?
cómo enseñar,
How do we teach that?
para que prácticamente
So that in practice,
estén en su sitio.
they're in their place, in their own place.
Definitivamente.
Definitely.
Porque es un caos que a veces por malos entendimientos,
Sometimes because of bad understandings,
hacen que también van cayendo.
the youth are making a wrong path and they start
Esa
going
es una lástima.
where they're not supposed to go, and that's a shame.
Que orientarnos
That's why the youth need to be oriented as it's supposed to be,
seriamente,
seriously,
con amabilidad,
with kindness.
con esos jóvenes necesitan amor y cariño.
Those youth, they need love and kindness and to be spoken that way, with good intention.
Es la tarea que tenemos todos.
It's the homework for the responsibility that we all have.
Enseñamos a hacer muchas prácticas más.
That's where we learn a lot of new things that benefits us too, what we deserve ourselves.
Así debemos estar todos respetados,
That's we should all respect each other,
porque algunos entendimos
because some of us understood what is nature.
la naturaleza siempre. Hay 5 momentos, tanto como en el día,
There's
en la noche.
5 moments during the day and during the night where things move in nature and it speaks to us with that kindness.
Nos cubre con sus intenciones buenas,
It covers us with good intentions,
con la deidad
with the
de la
deity
lluvia.
of rain.
Hay que tener a la deidad del aire,
Then generates the deity of the earth,
todos los árboles,
all the trees,
tanto como cimas y montañas, ríos y mares.
as the mountains, seas, and rivers. That's where it comes from
La
generations.
brisa
The wind
de la noche,
at night.
esa nos mandaba nosotros cumplir.
Purpuri, that's how we call the wind
El
breeze.
poder de todo,
The power of everything,
el beneficio de todos.
for benefit of everyone.
Con esas relaciones podamos ver a cualquier persona.
With those things, we can give face to any person.
Ese es dar a entender a las personas
That's to share with people how to understand things, put them in the right place where they should be,
para iniciar muchas cosas
to
importantes.
start a lot of important things.
Ser buen maestro,
Be a good teacher, be a good student,
ser capaz de
be
hacer todo.
capable, do all the things like you're supposed to.
Porque las enseñanzas no tienen finalidad.
Because the teachings don't have an end.
Lo poco que tengan entendido,
Whatever you have understood,
eso pide,
take good care of it.
no nomás lo pide,
Not just take good care of it.
se pide y se valora.
That should be taken care of and valued.
Esa presentación
With that presentation, like talking like that way, we give face to the youth and the children, to the students too.
que generen con ese entusiasmo,
With that enthusiasm in themselves,
intenciones,
with their intentions.
buscar tu lugar.
Find their place.
Ese es un poco lo nombramos. Cada uno de nosotros
Each one of us,
tenemos nuestra propia etapa.
we have our own stages.
¿Sabe cuál es? Nuestra enseñanza.
Know what our teachings are.
Muchos de los abuelos dicen,
A lot of the grandparents say,
"Tienes que entender muchas cosas,
if you want to understand a lot of things, if you want to understand nature,
si quieres saber cuidar,
if you want to know how to take care of it and preserve it,
primero ponle tu etapa propia.
first understand your own stage.
Inicia con esas intenciones.
Then start with those intentions.
Ser buen maestro,
Be a good teacher,
educativamente con
educationally, as
la práctica.
the practice of the teachings.
A todos nos pertenece hacer esto.
It belongs to all of us to do that.
Tenemos todos,
We all have that homework, that responsibility.
todos juntos.
All together,
Debemos generar esas causas también.
we should start those important causes.
Para eso están las universidades.
That's what universities are for.
Le doy gracias a los maestros.
I give thanks to the teachers. They put a lot of,
Entregar
passion.
las palabras, entregarle la luz.
With your words, give light inside the students, to the youth,
Para que reforme tu capacidad. Lo que es una capacidad
so they can develop their skills, their capacities to understand
de enseñanza.
through teachings.
Eso es lo que nos corresponde a cada uno.
That's what each one of us should do.
Porque eso nos favorece.
That benefits us.
Las letras, perfecto.
When we understand the words and the
Hay
causes,
que encontrar muchas cosas
then we can understand a lot of other things.
que son ajenas, que son propiedades.
Were
Esas ajenas hay que
not from us,
respetarlas.
but from others. But we gotta respect those too. That's us.
Eso ser respetado.
We should be respected too,
Junto con ellos.
as it's supposed to be.
Todos nos merecemos el respeto,
We all deserve that, the
la
respect,
razón.
the given reason.
los entendimientos
the understandings, the knowledge,
y los
and
conocimientos.
the knowledge of nature.
Los ríos que vemos,
The rivers that we see,
que tanto les conseguimos la divinidad.
that they give us so much of kindness, that's what we have inside ourselves.
Nosotros mismos. Así estamos generados del nacimiento.
That's how we are born.
Esas son las voces de cada uno.
Those are the voices of each one of us. That's why we have a voice.
Hasta si alguno de ustedes sí
If one of you,
conocen la voz,
you know the voice of each one
cuando
of you.
iba alguien, a alguien
When somebody is coming, you hear the voice, you say, that
así
person
tiene
is
la
coming.
naturaleza.
That's how nature knows us.
Nos tiene en sus manos así,
So we have it inside nature,
como el aire,
in its hands, the same as the air,
como el aire.
the water.
Cuando se mueven los árboles,
When the trees move,
eso nos confirma
they confirm the songs to us.
y nos complementan la
And then 5 times at night and 5 times during the day,
con aquello,
it covers us
habilidad,
with kindness,
tanto como
with its songs and prayers.
si llegamos a entender
If we understood those songs and prayers,
ya subimos conceptar.
we then go up 2 stages.
Por eso es importante
That's why it's very important
entender esas bases,
to understand the basis.
porque es muy importante hablar de eso de la naturaleza.
It's very important to speak about those things and about nature.
Por eso nosotros cada en nuestra tradición
In our tradition,
hacemos 5 ceremonias anuales.
we do 5 ceremonies per year.
La ceremonia de la Madre Tierra,
The ceremony of Mother Earth,
la ceremonia del abuelo fuego,
the ceremony of the Grandfather Fire,
con la deidad del aire,
the ceremony of the air deity,
con la deidad del agua
the ceremony of the deity of the water,
y del astro.
and of the king, the Grandfather Sun that give us the life every day.
Y la luz
And the light of the Grandfather Fire at night or during the day,
de todo,
in every place.
que nos bendice perfectamente
It energizes it perfectly,
todo.
everything.
Esa luz nos da.
That light is dearest to our minds and our hearts.
Todos estos proyectos de enseñanza
All those teachings
no tanto debemos generar,
we have
pero
inside
más
us.
enterarnos
So we just gotta realize
cuál
that.
es nuestra tarea de cada uno.
What is each and every one of us homework, so we don't generate sadness or pity,
Para no desviarnos.
so that we don't deviate in our path.
Esa es generar su propia vida,
That's to generate your own life,
prácticamente como es.
practically.
Que reconocer las historias
Recognize the histories and the teaching of the grandparents,
de los padres,
the parents.
porque ellos nos han enseñado el camino.
They showed us a good path, how we're supposed to do.
Los mejores amigos que tenemos son los abuelos.
The best friends we have is our grandparents and parents. They don't lie to us.
Siempre nos causan muchas cosas importantes.
They always give us important things, starting as children, until you're 18, 20 years old. That from there on, we start with our own decisions. But we already been well taught.
Eso nos pertenece a hacer todo.
That's what we all gotta do. Generate those things.
Con esa red,
Cover ourselves with that net and become
haciéndole más.
one in the center of our universe.
Porque en esos proyectos,
Because in those projects,
tanto como los maestros,
the teachers,
tanto como los abuelos,
the grandparents,
tanto como los padres,
and the parents,
nos han dado esa herencia.
they give us that legacy.
Pero también eso nos han dejado esa luz,
They give that light to us.
para que con esa luz sigan adelante,
So that with that light, we can go forward.
ir metiendo todo como es.
Keep weaving everything as like it's supposed to be. Keep weaving.
Cuando reconocemos nuestro tejido,
When we recognize our weaving, we gotta practice it like it's meant to be.
hay nacen las historias.
That's where the stories are born. The important words, the important prayers, the important songs, the important thoughts.
Ahí nos lo podemos disfrutar.
That's where we gotta pay attention. That's our homework.
Ancestralmente,
ancestral
desde el inicio.
from the beginning of Mother Earth.
Por eso podemos preservar
That's,
a la montaña.
that's why we have to preserve the mountain, make a lot of decisions. What are the plants? What are the trees, the sacred places? There's a lot of sacred places around here from the ancestors. They have a story. They have their songs, their memories, their prayers.
Esto se nombra las etapas que han matado.
Those are the stages that have been left for us from the past. It exists.
Muchos dicen que eso ya no existe, está pasando.
A lot of say that doesn't exist, it has already passed. No. What the ones who don't exist is us going there and doing our homework, but that's still alive.
Si nos enteramos
If we realize that,
de las cosas,
of the things,
bien significativamente,
very significantly, then we can find those things.
ahí donde se comparten las palabras,
That's when you share words,
los proyectos de saber,
the knowledge,
los proyectos de entendimiento,
the understanding,
debidamente compuestos.
and like it's supposed to be.
Porque las historias que existen,
The stories, the history that exists from the beginning of Mother Earth,
muy pocos se reconocen,
very few know those.
muy pocos.
Very few.
No en todos los países que han dado,
In all the countries that I've been, it's the same thing.
pero esas palabras que yo lo comparto,
That's why I share those words
de dignidad con mucha sinceridad.
with a lot of dignity and sincerity, and with love and
Mi respeto,
kindness. My respect for all of you.
porque yo entiendo lo que es respetar.
I understand
Iniciación
what is to respect.
nos hace reconocer todo eso, los padres.
Our grandparents make us recognize all of that.
En ese tiempo del año 60, así,
In the year 1960, that's how it was.
daban las cosas,
They would pull our ears like that.
pero ahora no.
Not anymore.
Era más seriedad en los años 60 y 70.
That way, in the 60s and 70s, the grandparents were more strict.
Gracias.
But I give thanks to them.
Todavía lo tengo aquí.
I still have them in my mind and in my heart.
Eso lo comparto
I share that
cuando sea.
wherever I
En
am,
los países que han dado,
in all the countries that I've been.
porque esa es mi tarea.
That's my homework, my task.
Esa tarea significa los señalamientos de nosotros mismos como humanos.
That is our own
Con esos señalamientos,
task as human beings that have been left for us.
tener nuestro camino prácticamente como es vivir.
We can have our path like it's supposed to be
Significativo,
to be meaningful,
tener tu propia simbología,
to have your own symbology,
tener sus proyectos propios,
have your own projects,
para realizar todos los conocimientos y compartir.
to realize and understand all the knowledge and to share.
Esa tarea nos ha dejado.
That's the task that has been left for us.
Todas las etapas que existen,
All
cinco
the,
etapas,
all the stages, all 5 stages,
que existen,
5 stages of knowledge that exist.
hasta no reconocer todo eso,
Until we don't recognize all of that,
ahora sí reconocer.
now you can say,
Igual que diga mi carrera.
now I'm a teacher, I finished my task, I finished my homework.
Así ha sido mi maestro.
That's how the teacher studies. And thank you for your study and for your teaching,
Prometí generar esa tarea.
because you have promised yourself to generate and learn that, and you have done it.
Y ahí nos enseñamos todo.
And that's how we teach one another. That's what teachers are so important in universities.
Porque ellos sin darse cuenta,
Then,
hay generaciones en lo natural.
without realizing, they're teaching generations about nature and inside nature,
Porque todo se cuenta ahí.
because everybody goes back. Well,
Ahí están todos.
that's why we're all inside the nature.
Por eso prácticamente
Because
hay que formalizar
that's why we gotta
el
formalize
respeto.
the respect.
A nosotros cuando nos enseñaron
When they taught us
en los años 60,
in the year 1960,
ese camino nos enseñaron.
they taught us that too.
Los abuelos dicen cuando nos enseñan el camino,
When they show us a path, they say,
porque ya tienen las señales de la luz.
you have this, that light showing you the path. Go that way ourselves. Our grandparents put that light for us, like it's supposed to be.
De nada así no para acá, no sé, Entenderlo, no.
not without, like this way I don't know, or that way, very well understood correctly.
Es una tarea que nos han dejado.
That's a task they left for us.
Hay países, hay estados,
There's countries or there is states where people have not understood
pero
that,
también por una razón,
but there's a reason for that.
porque alguien no los toca tantito, que abran los ojos.
Nobody touches them a little bit so they open their eyes. So get them back in a good path.
Porque cuando alguien nos habla, es
Somebody speaks to us,
para que despierte,
they tap us a little bit to wake us up, to see what we can do, to see what task needs to be done.
por eso las palabras.
That's what the words are for.
Las palabras tradicionales, las palabras ancestrales,
The traditional ancestral words, those envelop us. Envelop us.
fuego, tierra,
Fire, earth,
la penetración de la naturaleza.
the nature.
Nos atrae esas generaciones tan importantes.
Those important generations
Siempre y entiéndanos con mucha razón.
that we always understood those.
Hay en la naturaleza, ahí hay muchas causas importantes.
There's a lot of important things in nature.
Nada más es fijarnos
We just gotta pay attention.
donde existen toda la naturaleza.
Wherever there is nature,
Ahí están los proyectos cortos de cada uno.
that's each one of our individual
En la
projects
naturaleza,
among nature.
ahí existe todo.
That's where everything is.
Si nos fijamos,
If we pay attention, we will find it there. If we don't pay attention, we won't find it.
pisar ahí,
We just step on it.
si no nos fijamos,
If we don't pay attention, we won't see it. And we won't find it.
por eso los papás nos enseñan,
That's why the grandparents teach us.
tener mucho cuidado con los pasos,
Be very careful with the steps you take.
cómo pisas,
And watch where you step.
pero lentamente.
And go slowly. It's like it's supposed to be. So you realize
¿Qué significación tienen nuestros pasos?
what's the meaning of our
¿Qué
steps.
significación tienen los señales, los señalamientos?
What's the meaning of the signs
Tenemos que ir
that we have to follow.
dando cuenta
Realize
para no tropezar.
so that we don't stumble and hurt ourselves.
Hay que cuidarnos.
We gotta pay a lot of attention.
Así se estudia prácticamente en
That's,
nuestra tradición.
that's how you study in the traditions, in our culture.
No nomás en los Wixarika,
Not just in the Wixarika people. Around here too.
ya no-
I've been around with indigenous people here. My respect for them. My respect.
yo los quiero como mejores hermanos,
I love them like my best brothers
porque yo les entiendo.
because I understand them.
¿Cómo realizarlo? Su forma de ser.
I understand how they realize their way of being because it comes from the ancestors and the grandparents, from the parents.
Nos han dejado esa luz,
They have left that light,
es importante.
so important for us.
Esas se llaman luces ancestrales.
Those are called ancestral lights.
Ya hace miles, miles, miles.
They meet thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago.
Esas iniciaciones
Those initiations,
nos atraen muchas informaciones.
it brings a lot of information to us
Y cada momento,
in each moment.
acá arriba,
Up there,
me llegan muchas informaciones.
we get a lot of information.
Algunos sienten,
Some people can feel it,
algunos
some people can see it, some people can't
porque
because it's invisible.
lo invisible existe.
But what is invisible exists.
Visualizar bien
You can visualize well a person,
de lo que piensa,
what they're thinking, what is generating,
por qué,
why,
cuál es el motivo.
what's the reason,
Ya calla,
and you speak to them with the truth.
quitar esa tristeza.
Take that sadness away, those foreign thoughts that are no good. We gotta throw them away with teachings,
Enseñarles el camino.
show them their path. That's our task. And watch your step carefully. And take care of your own steps.
Tu enseñanza,
Take care of your own teachings.
a nivelar bien tu propia práctica.
Level well your own practice. There we all learn from that. We want each other, we teach. That's what it means to support one another. Then we become one, just one, like that stuff.
estamos todos.
We're all there in that stuff.
Generamos una sola palabra.
We generate just one word, one intention.
La atención, cuando entramos ahí,
When,
la atención,
when we start paying attention,
los abuelos nos dicen,
the grandfathers direct us,
diciéndonos,
telling us,
la atención vale poco, pero también vale mucho.
attention is worth little, but it's also worth a lot. You gotta always ask for permission before you go in there. You always have to ask for permission.
Es cuando nos vienen las generaciones,
That's when good things come to us, good teachings, when we ask for permission.
siempre
Always
tener esa respeto
have that respect.
en cualquier cosa.
Whatever we do, ask for permission.
Para dejar un tejido bien practicado.
To live a good weaving,
Pero también te quiero enseñar esta manera que se pasa.
but also to learn that way, you gotta pay a lot of attention. And if you don't understand,
Hay que preguntar.
if you don't understand, you gotta ask.
Alguien le va a decir.
Somebody's gonna guide us.
Si no preguntamos, alguien,
If we don't ask, nobody's gonna tell us.
al ver
There's gotta be someone also
qué piensas, pues,
telling you, why do you think
tan
that?
bonito que es la vida,
The life is so beautiful.
usted con esa cara,
And why do you have that face? No, no, no.
hay que hablar,
You gotta speak to them with the truth.
se distraiga,
Get them distracted
con las palabras,
with the good words, spoken word.
es el aliento,
That's how we encourage each other
velocidad,
with generosity,
prácticamente.
like it's supposed to be.
Todo lo tenemos,
We all have that
admítanlo.
inside our mind and heart.
Todos somos tierra,
We're
todos
all
somos fuego,
earth. We're all fire. We're all air.
agua
We're all water
y la luz.
and the light.
Vamos a ver cómo debemos de dar la luz.
We have to give light to one another, but with good words and with good intentions.
Debe ser como una abuela.
That's to be a grandfather, grandmother. Generate that.
Hay que enseñar eso a los pobres,
That's what we gotta teach the youth,
a los niños.
to the children.
A los niños desde el principio hay que hablarles de esa manera.
Since from the beginning, we gotta speak to them with the truth
Siempre que que tenga esas palabras
and always have those words to them.
y principiando cosas que en la sociedad tan importante,
Start that generosity for them.
solamente
Only that way.
porque en el año que estamos ya no es igual como en el año 70.
In the year we're here now, it's not the same as in 1960. Things have changed a lot. There's a lot of distractions.
En la ciudad hay muchas,
In the city, there is a lot of distractions.
en la montaña
In the mountain,
está la salud,
that's where the health is.
porque ahí está nuestra alegría en la salud.
That's where our happiness and our own light, we gotta find is.
¿Qué intención podemos ir a una montaña
With what intentions can we go to a mountain
para recibir el aliento de la naturaleza?
and receive the breath and encouragement of nature? That will heal us. And the cold and the hot,
Con el aire.
with the air and the Mother Earth.
Son tres bases que se generan.
The three bases that generate one.
Eso nos habla
It speaks to us
en todo momento.
at every moment.
Por eso hay que entenderlo.
That's why we gotta understand that.
Los maestros
The teachers, they understand that.
también tienen
They have that breath. But yeah, that's good.
mi respeto a los maestros.
My respect to all the teachers.
Gracias. Voy a hablar de otro tema.
Thank you. Now I'm gonna speak about a different subject.
Ahora voy a hablar sobre las plantas medicinales.
Now I'm gonna speak about the medicinal plants.
A nosotros nos enseñaron en el año 60,
In the year 1960, they have taught us,
cuando tenía 8 años,
when I was 8 years old,
año 73.
63,
Nos llevaban al campo,
they take us to the countryside, to fields,
conocer las plantas,
to get to know the plants. What are they good for?
debe de hablar.
And how you have to talk to them.
Nos enseñaron a practicar los rezos
They teach us to practice the prayers and the songs
y cómo hablar.
and how to talk to them.
Porque las plantas
The plants,
nos hablan,
they speak to us.
nos generan buenas cosas.
They generate good things for us, but we gotta speak to them back.
Respeto.
Show them respect.
Cuando nosotros nos enseñaron prácticamente,
When they taught us,
si quieres conocer lo que es debido,
if you wanna know and learn about medicinal plants,
ponle su respeto.
first
No,
start with your own respect.
un paso adelante.
If not, don't take one more step.
Una voz de respeto
First form your respect
para que atiendan esas plantas y los atiendan.
so you can take care of those plants and those plants can take care of you with that respect.
Siempre reconocer,
It's always important to recognize.
hay que reconocerlo bien las plantas de su raíz,
You gotta recognize them from the root.
depende del estado que se encuentre.
Depends on the state the plant is
Y depende cómo le va a hablar,
and how you're gonna speak to it.
de sus enseñanzas.
The person wants to learn about those plants.
Hay que reconocer bien desde su raíz
You gotta recognize them well all the way from the root
y conocer, entender qué enfermedad puede curar la raíz.
know which sickness the root can heal
Debe generar bien.
and understand it well.
Y de ahí, qué enfermedad puede curar la corteza.
From there, what sickness can the bark heal?
Y de ahí, qué enfermedad puede curar las hojas.
And from there, what sickness can the leaf heal? And from there, the little tips of the plant.
Tiene 5 generaciones.
It has five different parts, the
Hay
plant.
que entenderlo
You gotta understand all of those
para recibir esa amabilidad de las enseñanzas.
to receive that kindness from the medicinal plants.
Hay que tener esa amabilidad con alguien que queremos ayudar.
We gotta have that kindness with somebody we want to help.
Hablar con mucha amabilidad,
Speaking with a lot of kindness and respect and good intentions,
con aquel amor, cariño.
with love and care.
Porque todos necesitamos el amor, cariño.
Because we all need
De esa manera.
that, to be spoken with love and care. Also the medicinal plants.
Tiene su esencia prácticamente como es el
It has a science like it's supposed to be, that recognize their essence.
Porque siempre así nos enseñaron los padres.
That's how the grandparents taught us, our parents. How do we do that?
¿Dónde están las iniciaciones de esas plantas?
Where the beginning of those important medicinal plants?
Pero en las que nosotros tocamos
In the generation we're in now,
es una lástima.
it's a shame.
A mí me causa mucha lástima.
It makes me feel
Cuando yo les entiendo cómo
sad.
nos hablan,
because I understand how they speak the medicinal plants to us.
a otros no le generan con buena sinceridad.
And people are not doing it using those plants with sincerity. That's why it
Ese daño.
doesn't bring us good things. But that's up to us.
Esas plantas medicinales
That's why those medicinal plants,
se respetan y se valoran.
you respect them and you value them.
Esto nos trae muchas cosas,
And then they bring us a lot of good things.
muchas consecuencias buenas,
A
no
lot of
consecuencias malas.
good consequences, not bad ones.
Es importante entenderlo.
That's why it's important to understand those medicinal plants.
También es muy triste porque muy poco se usan esas plantas.
That's very sad too that those plants are not used that much. Some people don't understand it, some people don't know those plants.
Conoce las plantas medicinales.
Not everybody knows the medicinal plants.
Menos tu rezo, menos tu canto.
Much less their prayer and much less their songs,
Principio,
much less their beginning, their principles.
es una lástima.
That's a shame.
Pero también a quien no le podemos generar con esas cosas.
But we can generate that
Porque
mind
también crece como la planta.
so that it grows just like the plant,
Buenas iniciaciones,
with good beginning.
de verdad, es importante.
That's important, very important.
En aquellas generaciones de los años 60,
In that generation, in the 1960s and 70s,
muchos usaron todo.
many people use those still.
Las cosas que nos han causado en la sierra,
in the
en
hills,
la sierra alta y en el Alto Norte,
in the Sierra Madre, in the north of Jalisco. That's where I was born.
donde están los primeros abuelos.
That's where the real grandpas are. They,
Esas cosas tan importantes.
they were teaching us those very important things.
Hay un lugar sagrado que ahí hay todo.
There's a sacred place there where everything can be found.
Hay sus iniciaciones,
You can do initiations,
cómo enseñarse a uno,
how to teach yourself,
por qué razones,
why.
porque no todos nos enseñamos en una materia.
We don't learn the same subject. There's different subjects that we can learn.
Como estar en una universidad.
It's like going to a university.
Porque la universidad es una la escuela uno.
You don't just learn one thing at the university, but there's many different things. In the medicinal plants, it's the same way.
Variedades.
There's variety.
Hay que estudiar lo que nos agrada.
We follow what we like,
Cada uno de nosotros.
each one of us.
Ese estudio es importante.
That's what we try to learn and study.
Ese es lo mejor.
But we gotta do it a lot better.
Demostrarle a alguien,
Show to somebody
decir de verdad que existe.
to show that it really exists.
Dar esa amabilidad para la gente.
That kindness to medicinal plants.
Hacerlo.
That's to do it much better.
Formar encuentros, formar discutir,
To start those very important tasks, those knowledge,
que se expanda todo,
so it can expand.
que hay cuando se cifra,
Because somebody may need it, so they can use it.
que tanto también necesitan.
Yeah, and cover them with those good intentions. We all need those things.
Reconocer esas plantas medicinales,
And recognize those medicinal plants.
cuando reconocemos sus proyectos propios,
When we recognize it,
es reconocer nosotros mismos.
it's also recognizing ourselves, who we are, what is our own task that we gotta do with good intentions.
Esas etapas que existen,
Those stages of the medicinal plants,
que indica la raíz
it's
de todo,
the root of
la
everything,
humanidad,
of humanity,
la realidad de toda la humanidad,
the reality of all of humanity,
piensa para la humanidad.
the teachings of humanity.
Con esas enseñanzas
With those teachings,
podemos apoyar
you can support somebody at any time,
en cualquier momento.
at any time.
Esa es la energía en las prácticas de las plantas medicinales.
That's the energy and the practice of the medicinal plants.
Hay plantas en las montañas,
Those plants on the mountains, they give fruit.
se come,
They can eat,
pero no más comer,
but it's not just eating.
hay que hablar.
You gotta talk to it, so it helps you.
¿Cuál es la necesidad de la persona?
What is the need that the person has? That's what you gotta say to the plant. And then you put it inside yourself.
En esos años de 60,
In the 1960s,
tareas,
they give us one task to do fasting,
ayunar de agua,
to fast water,
ayunar de comida,
to fast food for 5 days.
nada de tomar agua, nada.
No water, no food for 5 days.
Tarea no la hago.
That's what we had to do.
Tal vez,
That's how we had to learn.
sí lo hicimos, lo tomamos.
And we did it. I did it.
Ahí se atrae mucha energía antes,
Then
antes de empezar.
before you start, then you need to
Esa
learn.
energía nos saque de esas intenciones.
So that energy can take us out of bad intentions and help us recognize ourselves.
Lo que tenemos entendido,
That's,
lo cuidamos,
that's what we have understood. We take good care of it.
a todos.
And we value it, and with that, we value everybody as ourselves. Because from that come the medicinal plants.
Ahí está nuestro amor y cariño, la verdad.
That's where it's our love and our care and our good intentions
Las plantas y los animales.
of the plants and the trees.
Es la pureza,
It's the purity,
la significación de todo.
the meaning of everything
De esos proyectos todos los necesitamos.
that we all need come from there,
En medio de la naturaleza,
in the middle of nature.
las plantas medicinales,
And the medicinal plants,
ahí están las-
that's where the stories are.
ahí están los rezos,
That's where the prayers are.
ahí están las memorias,
That's where the memories
se generaron
that were generated by our ancestors
los abuelos
and the grandparents
y los padres.
and the parents.
Porque todo comenzó a bajar eso
because it has all come down a little bit
por la distracción
because of the distractions
del pueblo.
of the different people, the different cities and towns.
Hay que vivir en la ciudad, pero también hay que salir un poco
It's okay to live in the city, but you gotta go out to the mountains to receive that.
recibir esas, las intenciones.
Receive the good intention from nature.
Cubrir de eso.
Cover yourself with that.
Nos cubre
It covers us with good intentions.
en una perspectiva históricamente como es.
Like it historically has been.
Pero también hay que valorar.
So we gotta value those things that we have.
Por eso, con esas historias, con esas enseñanzas,
With those stories and teachings,
también debemos de cuidar mucho.
we gotta take care of ourselves alone.
Cuidar de nuestra enseñanza.
We gotta be very careful in our learning who will guide us.
Saber orientar
Know how to throw away
malas generaciones,
bad things,
malos
bad projects,
las intenciones,
bad intentions.
retirarlas
Move them away.
para que no haya esas cosas.
So those things, bad things don't come to us.
Eso no trae la naturaleza y las plantas.
That's what the nature and medicinal plants give us.
Nos advierten
They warn us
cómo debemos retirarlo.
how we should take care of it.
Eso nos dicen, si en verdad me necesitan, pero así me tienen que cuidar.
They say, you really need me,
Enseñanza.
but this is how you have to take care of me.
No te voy a dar de luz propia,
I'm gonna give you my light.
no te voy a dar mi mano
I'm gonna give you my hand.
para que intentes hacerlo de una forma más importante.
So you do it the right, more important way.
Pero hay que hacer algo.
But do it.
Dice esa planta, hay que hacerlo.
And when the plant says that, we gotta do it. Be very
Cuidarse
careful.
mucho y cuidar esas intenciones.
Take good care of you and take good care of the intentions. And
Mucho en otros países no lo creen.
in other countries, people don't believe that.
¿Qué les pasa? ¿Por qué no creen? Se lo están viviendo.
They say, why you don't believe it if you're living it?
Tienen dentro.
You have it inside of yourself.
Tienen
You have that
esas
vision.
intenciones.
You have those intentions. You have that heart that your grandparents left for you. Why you don't believe in that?
¿Dónde han nacido en otra etapa? Ustedes.
Where are you born? In a different place? Or generate good things for yourself.
Háganse valer ustedes mismos.
Make yourself worth with good intentions.
No se desvíen de su camino.
Don't deviate your path.
La palabra.
Sometimes I share those words with the youth.
Hay partes que lo intentan hacer.
Some people try to do it and some people are doing it.
Que el agradecimiento que me dan
And they give thanks to me.
es muy importante.
Very important.
Uno de los otros debemos dar la mano,
We gotta shake each other's hand,
la verdad.
but with the truth, like it's supposed to be.
Nada de acciones malas, no.
No bad actions.
Eso no está permitido.
That is not allowed among those important teachings.
Está permitido siempre, no importa la edad.
It's always allowed, no matter the age. You just gotta want to.
Querer es poder.
If you want to, you can. That's how the grandfather said.
No importa la edad.
It doesn't matter the age, but you gotta do it.
Querer es poder.
If you want to, you can.
Si quieres hacerlo, hay que hacerlo.
If you want to do it, you gotta do it. And they guide us. What we gotta do.
¿Qué necesidad de alguien?
What needs there are.
Descubre esto.
They discover that. And they teach us that.
Pastor,
The stuff.
y este ya nos enseñan esto.
They teach us about this.
Con eso podemos separar muchas cosas.
With this we can point a lot of
Esa es
things.
nuestra herramienta.
This is our tool.
Es la herramienta de la naturaleza.
It's the tool of nature, of the medicinal plants.
Aquí están historias,
That's where their stories are, their prayers and songs.
las prácticas propias que debemos
Each particular practice I would have to create. And here get the words of the plants
toda la naturaleza.
and of nature.
Y con eso
And with this,
podemos hacer muchas cosas.
we can do a lot of things.
Podemos entender muchas cosas,
We can understand a lot of things about nature,
tanto como ahorita,
just as above as below on Mother Earth.
Con eso tenemos entendido nuestra madre tierra,
If we have understood our Mother Earth, the songs,
como ves,
the prayers,
eso le cantamos.
that's what we sing to Mother.
Son 5 cantos lo más importantes.
There's 5 songs, the most important ones.
La madre tierra,
The Mother Earth, the fire, the water,
el aire,
the earth,
el agua,
and the King in the sky.
la luz.
To give us light. Every day give us light. Generates that.
Con esas generaciones
With that it sends us at each moment.
hacemos algo.
With that we do
Con
something.
eso somos personas importantes.
With that we're important people. We do important things.
Esa es la tarea que tenemos.
That's the task at hand over there.
Siempre recordar
Always remember
que somos personas importantes,
that we're important people.
no que fueran otras cosas negativas.
Don't generate negative things
Causa daño.
because that hurts us.
Cuando causamos las cosas en la oscuridad,
We generate those dark things.
no les garantizo eso.
I don't guarantee that things will go well because I understand. I guarantee that you have your light of your own, each one of you.
Y con esa luz puede llevar mucho.
With that light inside of yourself, you can go very far
Quieran enseñar.
for whatever you want to learn,
Quieren que quieran.
whatever subject you want to learn.
Con esa luz
And with that your own light,
pueden ver.
you can get very far.
Tampoco no van a recibir eso.
Not just receive that teaching. I repeat again,
Eso se cuida y se va.
that you gotta take care of and value it a lot, just like ourselves.
Eso, esa palabra nos da siempre los abuelos.
That's the word that the grandparents share and parents share with us.
Reconocer nuestra vez propia
Learn about our own roots.
y enseñarles de esa manera.
Teach that way to the next.
Cómo debemos de dar los pasos del Señor.
How we gotta walk according to the teachings
Dar esos pasos
and pass those teachings to those who require it
con muchos motivos.
with a lot of reasons.
Es cuando hacemos las cosas mucho mejor.
That's why we do things a lot better,
Pobres estudiantes.
like the best students.
Por eso hay que digo todos los estudiantes.
Because there in the teachings, everybody is a student and everybody is a teaching of everything, a teacher. Because the air envelops us with that generosity and it attracts that teaching. 5 times each day and 5 times each night. It turns around, it moves.
Otro que queda el clima ahí,
That's what the air generates.
ya por la noche,
And at night, the air and the word come together. And it falls on top of our head, like good intentions.
nos hace construir muchas cosas
And makes us build a lot of things
y saber
and know
las malas.
how to destroy the bad intentions.
No debemos comprar,
We don't have to generate that.
no debemos atraer eso.
We don't have to attract that with the mistakes. I mean, because sometimes we make mistakes. And that mistakes take us to a darkness
Donde no debemos tolerar.
where we don't have to keep generating other things.
Son datos que existen en todos los lugares,
These stages exist everywhere,
positivos y negativos.
positive and negative.
Hay donde no
That's why we gotta be careful.
debemos de cuidar porque intenciones buenas,
That's why we gotta take care of our good intentions.
las que tenemos aquí,
The practice we have here,
eso debemos de actuar.
we gotta take care of it.
Hay que actuar mucho,
Our teachings,
hay que tener
we gotta be very careful. Pay a lot of attention.
ya,
What we have already understood in our mind and in our hearts,
tanto como de las plantas medicinales.
just like the medicine plants.
Porque ahí está la visión
That's where the vision is at,
de las plantas medicinales.
of the medicine plants.
Cuando le pedimos esa visión,
When we ask for that vision,
sin darnos cuenta, le piden,
sometimes without realizing, they ask.
están pidiendo su propia visión.
They're asking for their own vision.
Esa visión cuenta mucho,
That vision is very important.
esa visión cuenta mucho,
It's very important.
porque lo tenemos todo.
So we all have it.
En esa visibilidad todos somos maestros.
With that, we're all teachers.
Hay que entender todo eso, hay que entender,
You got to understand all of that about the medicine plants,
conocerlos,
to know them from the root,
para rectificar,
all the way up, and then correct it all the way back down.
decir, oye, sí, lo conozco.
And to say,
Esa planta.
now I really know this plant. You gotta do it that way.
Esa es ayudar a alguien que lo necesita.
And that way you can help somebody who needs it with those medicinal plants.
Si lo dicen también,
If they say, okay, can you teach me? Then you say, yes, why not? Because we all have that need.
atrae muchas cosas.
A lot of things we want to attract. Good understanding and knowledge about medicinal plants. The songs, the prayers.
Conocer a todos los
To know all the words, the songs, the prayers, and the Mother Earth. We're talking about nature.
cuando eso lo tomaron, lo que
Our Mother Nature has us like this, like a baby. Like to give us light, our mom. Just like our mom, that's how our Mother Earth has us.
también lo estamos faltando el respeto.
It's a shame that sometimes we're disrespecting her.
Sí, le estamos faltando.
We are disrespecting her. Just like nature.
Hay un edad. Me da mucha tristeza al ver.
It makes me very sad when I see that. Uh-huh.
Pero con mi cuerpo existencial, siempre le pongo.
Yet my own intention, I always pray and sing to it,
Es como contentar a un niño,
like making a child happy that is crying,
a una niña,
or a little girl,
a otro.
somebody else.
Siempre hay consigo en el apoyo, todo,
That's how I get all the support from others and myself,
para que alguien lo primero de esa manera.
so that somebody else can do it too,
De la madre tierra,
from Mother Earth,
del abuelo fuego.
from the Grandfather Fire.
Así me dijeron nosotros por respeto.
That's how we say our respect, Grandfather Fire.
Porque los proyectos que existen
The projects that exist in nature,
es un hecho.
it's a fact,
Prácticamente desde el inicio de la madre tierra.
from the beginning of Mother Earth.
La misma madre tierra produjo eso.
Mother Earth itself created those things.
Árboles que dan fruto,
Trees that give fruit, trees that don't give fruit.
conservibles tanto como nosotros.
They are living beings just like ourselves.
Antes generaban, antes del año 70,
Before the year 1960,
algunos equivocados,
some people made mistakes.
que el árbol, que los árboles que no dan fruto que no servían para
Some people say the trees that don't give fruit are useless. Only the one that gives fruit are.
¿Qué te pasa?
I said, what's wrong with you?
Estás equivocado.
You're wrong.
Los árboles que dan fruto,
The árboles that give fruit, they're good, but the ones who don't give fruit, they're also good.
conocer todo eso, respeto de los
We gotta recognize all of that in the nature, in the trees.
árboles.
That's what they tell us.
¿Qué le pasa? Le intenté decir,
That's why I try to explain them.
después hasta lloró,
After that, he cried,
pidiendo perdón toda la mañana.
apologizing to nature.
Lo llevé a la montaña,
We took him to a mountain
tú dejar ahí tus palabras,
so he could leave his words. Yeah.
ya voy a ofrendar algo.
And then he went to offer something there. And then he learned a lot better.
Así debemos hacer una cosa.
That's how we're gonna do to each other.
Hay que hablarle con la suya.
Somebody made a mistake, you can speak to them with the truth, not with violence. With violence, we don't do anything.
Necesitamos amabilidad.
We need kindness.
Decir eso, enseñar.
Receive that or show that to somebody who needs it.
Para eso estamos todos.
That's why we're here.
Todos somos serviciales.
We can all be of service.
Pero esas intenciones vienen.
But sometimes those intentions come from nature and from medicinal plants.
Porque las plantas medicinales
Because medicinal plants,
están sensibles.
they're weaved.
Se hablan.
They talk to each other, just like we do.
Se llega el momento que se habla.
There comes a time when they communicate.
Propio canto,
They have their own song,
tu propia etapa,
their own stages,
tu propia enseñanza.
their own teachings.
General,
That's what they say.
pero a mí no voy a entender.
But some we don't understand.
Ven, siempre le pregunto, ¿qué será?
We just look at them and say,
¿Cuánto será?
well, I wonder what that is.
Yo hablo sin respeto.
Speak to it without respect. No.
Todo se respeta.
Everything must be respected. Any plant, any
Se
tree
respeta.
must be respected.
Ahí están nuestras autoridades, no tenemos
That's our own seriousness, a purity, or
que
keenness
nos concede el gobernamiento
that is concealed to us
muchas decisiones.
to make good decisions.
Eso debemos de cuidarlo.
That's what we gotta take care of, with a lot of respect.
Formarnos con respeto
Form and respect
nosotros
for ourselves,
para entender esa naturaleza
to understand nature also
planta.
of the medicinal plants.
Porque son nuestros inicios importantes.
It's our important beginnings.
Esa simbología que existe de la
That's the
naturaleza.
symbology that exists in nature of the medicinal plants.
Ahí están las historias de nuestros ancestros.
That's what the story of our ancestor is, the wisdom of our ancestor is,
Hicieron
how they started
para hacer nacer esas plantas.
to make those plants be born with their songs, with their prayers, with their practices.
Eso ya nos toca.
Now it's our turn to do that.
Esa herencia,
That legacy, we are practicing well.
esa herencia ya no nos pasaron.
That has been passed to us already.
Con esas causas.
So we generate good things and speak somebody with the truth, no lie,
No con malas acciones.
no with bad actions,
Con las opciones malas, no.
no with bad actions, good options, good words.
Tener esa historicidad tan importante
Are those important youth
corazón.
in our heart and in our minds.
Eso nos genera toda la naturaleza.
That's what nature generates to us.
Conocer.
We recognize
Esencia de esto tan importante.
there's an important essence that exists in the mountains and everywhere.
Hay que entender todo eso.
We gotta understand all of that.
Es conocerlo.
Once you know it,
Otra cosa es entender.
one thing is to know it, another thing is to understand it.
Una cosa es verlo,
One thing is to see it,
identificar bien como
and
es.
another thing is to identify it well like it is, like it's supposed to be. And it's a lot of things, a lot of teaching.
Debemos acudir a nosotros mismos ahí.
We gotta go there.
¿Qué necesidad tenemos? Esa es la parte de la necesidad.
What needs do you have? And that's what we gotta ask. But with a lot of being very serious and being very kind and with good intentions.
Formar nuestro proyecto propio, la verdad.
Start with our own truth and go on from there
Con eso sí.
with those intentions.
Ahí donde encontramos la luz
That's where we find the light,
propia.
our own light.
Porque toma esa luz aquí.
Because we have our own light now.
Traer eso y tenerlo siempre.
And to keep on with that,
Para comprarnos más partidos sobre la nave.
so that when we go back to Mother Earth, we pass something good to our family.
Ese se nombra nuestra herencia.
That's called our legacy
La luz propia de cada uno de nosotros.
to each one of us,
La mentalidad de cada uno de
the mentality of each one of us,
nosotros mismos, de nuestro organismo.
the properties of our organism. We pass.
Si lo genera de esa manera, nuestra familia,
If we do in a good way, our family and whoever is going to be there, that's good. That's a guide.
es una guía que nos deja.
That's a guide that's been left to us.
Esa guía nos deja mis abuelos,
That's what the grandparents leave for us,
tatarabuelos,
the great grandparents, great grandparents,
tíos de edad más avanzada,
the elderly uncles. That's what they ask us to do,
prácticamente,
as it's supposed to be.
para no causar tristeza.
So we don't cause sadness, find ourselves.
Causan mucha tristeza,
Many cause a lot of sadness,
buscándose dentro mismo,
looking inside themselves,
pero también por una razón,
but also for one reason,
porque alguien le habla con la verdad,
because no, they don't have somebody that speaks the truth to them.
alguien le habla con una seriedad,
Nobody speaks to them with seriousness.
porque ese nadie le habla con la luz propia,
Nobody speaks to them with their own light.
porque necesitamos con la luz, alguien nos habla con la
We
verdad.
need somebody to speak to us with the truth.
Desviarnos de una oscuridad,
Get away from the darkness
donde hay luz.
and put us where there is light.
Ese es el nombre, la verdad,
That's called
alguien
the truth.
nos deja.
That somebody understands us and leave us on the light. Take us out of the darkness.
Porque en la oscuridad,
In darkness,
no oímos a cualquier tu voz,
we hear somebody, but we don't see them.
batallamos poco por apoyar.
We struggle to support them.
Si intentamos nosotros podemos sacar de ahí,
When we try, we can get them out of there in the darkness and put them in the light. But we gotta talk to them with the truth.
así como ya de las plantas medicinales
That's how we speak to the medicine plants
o la naturaleza.
or to nature.
con esas intenciones.
is with those intentions.
Saber dar
To know how to give
valor e intención es bueno.
good value and good intentions. It belongs to all of us to do that.
Hablarle con la verdad.
Find somebody and speak to them with the truth.
Tristeza.
That they don't cause
Que
sadness.
no traiga malas intenciones.
That they don't attract bad
Que no
intentions.
traiga malas consecuencias.
They don't attract bad consequences.
Personas de tanto pensar.
There's people from thinking so much negative things, they start attracting bad energies. And that's where sickness comes.
No hay esa necesidad.
There's no need for doing that.
Es muy importante reconocernos nosotros.
It's very important to recognize ourselves.
El paso
What is the task that we gotta do?
que hay que hacer.
But we gotta do it.
Ahí está el amor del cariño de todo.
It's where the love and
Desde
care
el nacimiento nos da
from birth has been given to us.
nuestra madre que nos da la-
Our mother that gave us life. We have that.
Nadie debe decir no es cierto.
Nobody has to say it's not true. We're living it.
Salud, con
That,
salud.
with that life,
Las intenciones
bad intentions.
estamos diciendo.
We're living that.
Por eso hay que guardar ese respeto
That's why we gotta be respectful
de nuestros padres,
of our parents and grandparents.
porque son los mejores amigos.
Because they're the best friends that we can have.
Ellos nos dicen la verdad.
Because they tell us the truth. They don't lie to us.
Nos dicen la verdad, pero debemos atender.
They tell us what we have
¿Qué
to
intención?
pay attention and with what intention,
¿Con qué proyecto?
what projects.
¿Cuál es el proyecto de nuestro?
What we gotta do, how to recognize nature, how to recognize medicine plants,
Requerir todo esto.
to ask us to do, know it very well.
Esto se dice etapas,
That's what we call stages.
reconocer todo eso.
Recognize all that,
Al entender esa etapa,
understanding that stage, like any things we master, recognize all of it.
ya conozco todo eso, entonces digo, como,
Then once I know all of that, then I can move on to a different
porque
one.
son 5 etapas.
Because there's 5 stages of knowledge.
No, ahí tenemos que irnos con varias intenciones.
That's why we gotta go with good intentions. The most important subject matter, nature.
Ya viene el oro,
That's where everything comes from Mother Earth.
de toda la naturaleza, tanto como las plantas.
Just like the medicine plants.
Con el olor normal de las plantas medicinales,
Just
conocemos,
with the smell of the medicine plants,
es un aliento para nosotros.
that's like an encouragement for us.
Plantas medicinales.
Medicine plants.
Comen a veces las cosas,
Sometimes you chew the leaf,
té,
sometimes some tea,
a veces la raíz,
sometimes the
mariscal,
root
bueno.
you chew or you make a
Hay
tea.
de muchas,
There's different kinds,
muchas plantas medicinales.
many different medicine plants.
O hacer
You can make ointments
masajistas,
or massage. We use for
tomar,
make
me
ointments.
alegro yo que hagan eso.
I'm happy they make that.
Algunos allá en México
In Mexico,
llevan esas intenciones de
those who
plantas medicinales.
trying to do that, I tell them, good,
Échenle ganas mucho.
yeah, keep it up.
Reconocer esas plantas
Learn,
medicinales.
learn about those medicine plants. That's very important.
Cuando reconoces plantas medicinales,
When you recognize those medicine plants,
ser una persona sabia,
then you become a wise person.
sabia,
You're wise
con las intenciones buenas.
of good intentions and bad intentions.
Así nos enseñamos nosotros.
That's what they taught us.
Ser la visualidad y el propio de practicar
To practice it well.
qué intención hacer la persona.
What intentions of the person has.
Tiene intención
What is trying to do. What intentions has inside.
de reconocer un árbol.
That's how recognize. It's like recognizing a tree.
Todos los brazos que tienen los árboles,
All the leaves that the tree has,
entonces somos nosotros.
that's
Ahí
us.
estamos todos,
Well, each one, we're all there. The leaves
todos, de la raíz.
from the root.
La naturaleza aquí, la debemos de quitar.
Like the nature take care of us, and we gotta take care of it.
Ahí estamos. Historia,
That's where our story is, our history, our energy,
todo.
everything.
Nos da esa energía para andar.
Give us that energy when there is wind and it covers us with us. The trees, they sing to us. Like just like when we sing to a child
Una persona, una familia,
or a person or somebody we love.
Hay que tenerlo con mucho amor y cariño.
Speak to them with a lot of love and care.
Estamos generando
That's when we start generating a lot of good things.
allí para que vean, para entender.
So we love ourselves a
No
lot.
hay edad.
And for that, there is no age. You can be young, you can be a child,
¿Verdad? Avanzado.
or you can be advanced age.
Tenemos esa razón.
We have that,
Esa tarea.
and that task, that homework,
De rectificar nuestro código.
to rectify our own projects and
Se
tasks
está guiando.
that is guiding us, our lives.
Para de reconocer todo.
Recognize everything of humanity
Buenas intenciones.
with good intentions,
Con las palabras correctas. Así como
with good words, like it's supposed to be.
es cuando debemos generar muchas cosas.
That's when we gotta generate a lot of things.
Ustedes que son jóvenes, eso está bien.
You are young and you have that homework.
Quieren hacer, hagan mucho mejor.
If you want to do it a lot better.
Ahí les voy a dar más respeto.
And there I'm gonna have even more respect for you
Ya intenta hacer esa tarea.
when trying to do those things.
Y con esa enseñanza,
And with that, there is teaching. You can get very far with that. You can discover some things that are hidden there.
decir la verdad, ponen
Speak the truth to the youth.
precisamente la extensión.
But that's after you have discovered something. What is mathematics? Right? You can follow there. Go to university to see what the teachers are teaching. All the teachers I also wish to you good wishes.
Que sigan su camino,
That you continue your path,
intentando hacer muchas cosas importantes.
trying to do a lot of important things and guide well the youth, all the young students.
Hablarles con la verdad,
Speak to them with the truth, because you know that subject important.
ponga palabras nuevas.
That's the homework of the task I did for you.
Muchas gracias.
And thank you very much.
Que los quieran.
And I love you all. Pampa Dios. Okay, thank you. Gracias, Isabel. Muchas gracias por compartir esas palabras. Ahí Tim va a hacer un tanto como va a cerrar. Okay, Tim is going to share a song with us to send us off in a good way.
When I'm listening to your talk, the push of the palabras, it really resonated with me. That made me glad in heart. It reminded me to speak and listen to the plants, something that I haven't done much lately. When we hear a speech like this where I'm from, they say things like, wait, you wait, that's right. Or, Unaku, that's the truth. And so this song was taught to me by one of my Mitla, Richard Gadan, a few years ago. And it's a very simple song. You can sing along if you feel up to it. Where I'm from, we say, Wanaku, Wanaku, for that's the truth. Or the downriver people, either the Watamka, the downriver Sequatmuk, or the Sikapmuk and the Stetliak, they say Wanaku. But it means that's the truth. Monaco, 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 Monaco. Wanapo, 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 wanapo,
Okay, please feel free to come and check out the art that Don Chabelo family makes. Don Chabelo, as he was saying, he comes from the Sierra Madre, and part of their way of life is supported by the art they make. It's all handmade, beadwork made by his family. It's all back there, so feel free to check it out. Yeah, thank you everybody for coming. There's also probably some more cookies left if you want some. So help me give one more round of applause for Don Chabelo, and then go check out the exhibit.